Hey everybody! I have a video for you today about why I am death positive and what that means. Now, I'm sure you're sitting here thinking, what on earth are you talking about, Kristen? What is death positivity? Let me tell you, okay? And I would like to tell you by first explaining a recurring dream of mine and analyzing it for you. So here we go. My recurring dream has multiple variations, however, there are common themes across each. Every version of the dream involves me falling out of the sky thousands and thousands of feet in the air. Sometimes I'm alone, oftentimes I'm not, and I'm with friends or family or both. Or sometimes it's strangers. No matter what though, I'm in some way directly responsible for what's happening. Sometimes we're all in a vehicle that I've accidentally driven off an absurdly high cliff. Sometimes we're in a plane that I'm flying that is crashing because I don't know how to fly planes. Or other times we're on a roller coaster that's malfunctioning, and even the roller coaster is thousands and thousands of feet in the air, and somehow it's still my fault. In all of those dreams, I have moments where I think to myself, this has to be a dream. There's no way this is happening, but I'm not waking up. Oh God, is this real? Am I about to die? Oh my God. Oh my God. Chill, Kristen. Freaking out won't help. I did not expect it to go this way, but here we are. Breathe. Breathe. Splash or crash. I hit the ocean or a forest, and I wake up terrified. I think that this dream relates to stress and to feeling responsible for people that I care about. It's about how I don't want to let anybody down. Weirdly though, I don't find this dream to be very distressing, aside from like the initial terror when I wake up and think I might have died. I think that it's kind of nice that in the dream I kind of accept what's happening, and I think, I guess now is as good a time as any. I think that's good. I was telling somebody about this, and they were a little perplexed by my take on the dream. Specifically, they were confused by my acceptance of death in the dream and the comfort that brings me. But come on now. What are you gonna do if you're in a situation like that and you are screwed and there's nothing that you can do to save yourself or anyone else? Freaking out will not help you. It will just make your last moments worse. That conversation got me thinking about why living forever seems to be something people think that they want. And I wonder, why do people think that they would like to never die? The experts, in my opinion, do not necessarily suggest that that is a wise pursuit. To illustrate this point, I promise we are going to get back to death positivity. I'm going to discuss with you all the concept of eternal life in media, history, and the general cultural consciousness. I'm going to break it down into 3 main subpoints. The first one being eternal life as a reward, the second being eternal life as a punishment, and the third being eternal life as it is discussed in culture, religion, and spiritual belief systems. So point 1. The first thing I want to discuss is what I view as the most basic subpoint, which is eternal life as a reward, something to be desired. That, there are lots of examples of this, including Netflix's Black Mirror episode titled San Junipero, in which people are able to upload their minds into a digital Eden and escape the circle of life and death, the cycle of life and death. Another example is Lord Sauron in Lord of the Rings, who seeks power and eternal life through controlling the One Ring. Another example is Lord Voldemort in Harry Potter, who goes to great lengths in a futile attempt to extend his life forever. I think that's all the examples I have. Think of characters who pursue eternal life in books and media, and consider what they all have in common. Quite a lot of them are villains. They're shown that they cannot achieve eternal life, and they end up committing atrocious acts or otherwise destroying themselves in the process of their pursuit of eternal life. I think this is because in general, we actually are suspicious of people who truly want to live forever and who want to play God. Next point 2, is eternal life as punishment, something to be avoided. You can find countless examples of this, from people in real life who believe that life in prison is a much more fitting punishment for atrocious crimes than the death penalty, to Greek myths. You've got Sisyphus, who was damned to roll a boulder up the same hill for eternity. Atlas must hold the entire earth in his arms forever. Prometheus has his liver pecked at by a bird forever and will never die, even though having your liver eaten by a bird should definitely kill you. Tantalus spends his eternal life with unquenchable thirst and is next to a flowing river. A novel that I love punishes its main character for murder with an endless loop in a Twilight Zone-esque purgatory that he will never escape. Here we can see that there are many, many more ways that eternal life can go wrong than ways that eternal life can go right. So my last point is the general consensus across history, culture, time, religion, etc. We should pay attention to what major religions have to say about this topic because they have been concerned with this for much longer than anyone else has been alive, the topic of eternal life. And regardless of your religious or spiritual beliefs, most of us can agree that there is some wisdom to be found in those texts. And so I was thinking, and I did a little bit of research too, and every religion or spiritual belief system that I can find, you have to die in. Every single one of them. Trying to avoid death is to attempt to avoid judgment and destiny. And doing so tends to be regarded as sinful or evil. That's not to say that religions don't predict some form of eternal life after death, but in order to achieve that, you have to face death, you have to die. Let me summarize my points now. Okay, so my first point was about eternal life as a reward and how those who seek it tend to be regarded as villains. Point 2 was there are way many more ways that it can go poorly than for it to go positively if you live forever. That was point 2. And point 3 was if you look at religious texts, you will see that you have to die, according to all of them. There is no escape. Oh. Put this back up. So, all of that is to say, my recurring dream has helped me accept my personal impermanence and the fact that one day, hopefully a long time from now, I'll die. And everyone I love will also die. And I think that's a good thing, that I can accept that. And that is why I consider myself to be death positive. And if you want to know more about death positivity and where I got that word from, I encourage you to look up Caitlin Dowdy's channel. It's called Ask A Mortician. She is a mortician. And she wants to help demystify the funeral process and the death process and help people be more comfortable with that. Her website, orderofthegooddeath.com, talks about making death a part of your life, staring down your death fears, whether it be your own death, the death of those you love, the pain of dying, the afterlife or lack thereof, grief, corpses, etc. She wants to help people accept that death is natural, it's a part of life, and that our death anxiety in modern culture is not natural, and we should not continue to be scared of death and scared of talking about it. So, thank you if you made it to the end of this video. I hope that I gave you something to think about, and I hope you have a good day. Bye!